One four-bedroom house in a Midwest college town pays Dan more cash flow every month than three single-lease rentals on the same street. Same mortgage, same property tax, one address. The only thing that's different is one piece of paper and the way the bedrooms are leased. The number is $958 a month, after every expense, on a single house. That's a 22.7% cash-on-cash return in the current rate environment, when the average single-lease rental in this country pays under 8. Sound too good? Stay with me. We're going to break down exactly how this works, where it works best, and the part nobody tells you, which is what the operational load actually feels like by month 3. 3 things you're getting in this video. 1. The 4 markets where the rent-by-room math is genuinely working right now. 2. The full cash flow line by line on a real $147,300 deployment, so you can run the same math on any city. And 3. The deal killer most first-time operators miss. The one occupancy ordinance that can fine you, vacate your tenants, and void your insurance in a single weekend. Quick frame before we go deeper. This is educational, not legal or financial advice, and real estate laws vary by state. Boarding rules, landlord licensing, zoning, these things change at the city level, not the federal level. So everything you're about to hear is the framework. The local checklist is on you. Picture Dan. He sold a side business last year. He's got around $147,300 sitting in a high-yield savings account, paying him about 4%. He owns a duplex he house-hacked 3 years ago. He likes real estate. He hates the idea of buying another single-tenant rental in this rate environment because the math just doesn't pencil the way it did in 2021. He's read about house hacking. He's read about rent-by-room. So he ran the numbers. Here's what he found. Picture this, the same $147,300, deployed 2 ways. Path 1, a turnkey single-family rental in a popular Sunbelt market. Purchase price around $300,000, 20% down. Whole house lease at maybe $2,200 a month. Net cash flow, after PD and reserves, lands around $400 to $500 a month. Cash on cash return, somewhere between 5 and 7%. Real, but not exciting. Path 2. A 4-bedroom single-family home in a Midwest college town. Purchase price around $225,000, 20% down. Closing costs of about 2.5% on top. Total capital deployed, about $50,625. The other's $96,000 stays in the brokerage now. Instead of 1 lease, 4 leases, 1 per bedroom. According to Spare Room's national quarterly room rent data for the first quarter of 2026, the average rent per room in Indianapolis is $776. 4 rooms at $776 is $3,104 a month gross. Same property type, same metro tier, same year, same rate environment. The premium of renting it by the room over renting it as a whole house in this range is somewhere between 30 and 50%. The premium is real. So is the operational load. Stay with me. Where does this actually work? Not every city pencils. The formula is moderate home prices, plus strong demand from single renters, students, young professionals, travel nurses, remote workers, plus an average room rent above $750 a month. That formula points away from gateway cities and toward 4 specific Midwest metros. Number 1, Indianapolis, Indiana. Average 4-bedroom price around $227,000. Average room rent $776. Tenant pool, young professionals, EUPUI, and Butler students, plus the healthcare corridor. Number 2, Columbus, Ohio. Around $243,000 for a 4-bedroom. Room rents $772 to $850. The Ohio State University corridor, plus medical, plus tech. Number 3, Kansas City, Missouri. Same range, around $243,000. Room rents around $778. Steady young professional and remote worker base. Number 4, and the value play, Cleveland, Ohio. Average home prices in Cleveland are dramatically lower, sitting around $111,700 per Yahoo's 2025 Midwestern report. Room rents are lower too at $706, but because the acquisition price is so much lower, your $40,000 down payment is buying into a much smaller mortgage. The yield on invested capital potentially comes out higher than the higher rent metros, even with lower per room rents. That's geographic arbitrage in one sentence. 2 markets to mention briefly. Memphis, Tennessee at $765 a room, with Realtor.com flagging Memphis as the one major metro that flipped from buy favoring to rent favoring in the middle of 2020. 5. Translation. Demand pressure on rentals is rising, and Detroit, Michigan, where many three-bedroom submarkets still trade under $175,000, and room rents land near $778. Now picture two investors who each pulled $50,000 out of a brokerage account last spring. One bought a single-family rental in a popular Sunbelt market, $2,000 a month gross, $400 net after everything. The other bought a four-bedroom house in a Midwest college town and rented it by the room. Same $50,000. $3,100 a month gross, $958 a month net. 2.5 times the cash flow on the same dollar in. Same rate environment, same year, different lease structure. That's the spread. Let's run the full cash flow on Indianapolis, line by line. Purchase price, $225,000. 20% down, $45,000. Closing at 2.5%, around $5,625. Total capital deployed, around $50,625. Loan amount, $180,000 at 6.5% on a 30-year fixed. Principal and interest, about $1,138 a month. Add property tax of around $188 a month, and insurance of around $125. Full Pit T lands at $1,451 a month. Income side, 4 rooms at $776 is $3,104 gross. Expenses side, Pity at $1,451. Maintenance at 10% of gross, $310. Vacancy reserve at 5%, $155. Landlord paid water and internet, around $200. Advertising and miscellaneous, around $30. Total monthly expenses, $2,146. Net cash flow, $3,104 minus $2,146 equals $958 a month, or $11,496 a year. Cash on cash return on that $50,625 invested, 22.7%. Payback on cash invested, 4.4 years. Half a decade, you have your down payment back, and you still owns the house, the appreciation, and every dollar of future rent. Sensitivity check, because viewers always ask. What if one room sits empty for 60 days? You lose about $1,552 in rent. Annual net drops to about $9,944, still positive, still double-digit cash on cash. That's the mechanical reason a 4-room configuration outperforms a 2-bed setup. A vacancy is a 25% event, not a 100% event. This is the branded mechanism. Call it the Four Lease Multiplier. 1 property, 4 leases, 4 collection events, 4 diversified income streams from a single roof, a single mortgage, a single insurance policy. You're not multiplying properties to multiply income. You're multiplying leases on the property you already own. That's the unlock. Now, here's the part the social media operators leave out. This is not passive income. It looks passive on a spreadsheet. By month 3, it feels like a part-time job. 4 leases means 4 collection events. 4 screenings a year on a stable property. Maybe 6 on a turnover-heavy one. 1 leaking faucet in a shared kitchen can cost 2 tenants if you don't move on it inside 48 hours. Stay with me. We're going to make that load smaller in a minute. 3 operational realities you sign up for the day you close. 1. Tenant screening load. You'll screen 4 to 6 tenants per year, accounting for normal turnover, versus 0 or 1 for a single lease landlord. Each placement is a credit check, an income verification, a reference call, and a quick interview. Budget 2 to 4 hours per placement. 2. Maintenance responsiveness. Room renters on month-to-month leases tend to leave fast if maintenance is slow. Their flexibility is your urgency. Build a preferred vendor list before you have tenants. Plumber, handyman, HVAC, speed dial. 3. Conflict mediation. Shared kitchens and bathrooms generate friction. A written roommate agreement covering quiet hours, guest policy, cleaning duties, and common space use prevents most of it. Most, not all. You're the de facto house manager even after you move out. The fix? Systems. Lease template, written and reused. Standardized screening checklist, no exceptions. Vendor list on the fridge, in the property, and in your phone. Rent collection on an automated platform like Avail, TurboTenant, or Buildium. Now you're spending 3 to 5 hours a week per property, not 20. Now, The deal killer I promised. Most single-family zones permit owner-occupied room rental, but many municipalities cap the number of unrelated adults allowed in a single-family home. Common limits: 2 to 4 unrelated adults depending on the city. Cities like Santa Ana, California, Boca Raton, Florida, and several New Jersey municipalities are particularly strict. Violating these rules carries fines, can force vacancy of the overcapped tenants, and can void your insurance coverage. Before you make an offer, do this. Search the city name plus unrelated occupancy ordinance. Then call the local zoning department and get the answer in writing. Some cities go further and require a rooming house license or landlord registration. Baltimore, Philadelphia, and several large Texas municipalities are on that list. No license, no legal eviction in some jurisdictions. Insurance is the other gotcha. A standard homeowner's policy will often exclude coverage for boarding house operations. If you don't disclose the rental use, a fire claim or a tenant injury could be denied. The fix is simple. Either add a landlord endorsement to your existing policy or move to a DP3 dwelling policy. Expect a 15 to 30% premium increase. Then add a $1 million umbrella liability policy for somewhere between $200 and $400 a year. That umbrella is the cheapest insurance you'll ever buy on this strategy. 2 real operators to anchor this. According to REI Prime's September 2024 breakdown, an operator named Rachel bought a 4-bedroom single family in Columbus for $285,000 using FHA financing at 3.5% down. Total out of pocket, around $16,775. She lived in the master and rented the other 3 rooms at $850 a month each. After 14 months, she moved out and converted the master to a 4th rental at $900. Total gross rent, $3,450 a month, after realistic vacancy and maintenance reserves. Her net cash flow lands around $752 a month. Cash on her $16,775 out of pocket. 53.8%. The driver was the FHA low down payment. Less capital deployed, same income, much higher return on cash. Second proof point from Business Insider's April 2025 reporting. Operators Jeff White and Suleika Bolaños run a portfolio with rent by room as their primary cash flow strategy. They occupy the smallest room in each property and rent the rest at market rate. Their stated rule, and this is honest, when Section 8 voucher amounts in a market rise high enough that a single Section 8 tenant pays $500 to $1,000 more per month than the room rental gross for the same property, they switch that property to single lease. They optimize per property based on what the numbers actually are, not based on ideology. That's how mature operators think. 5 years out, that single Indianapolis house is a different animal entirely. The cash flow already paid Dan back his entire down payment by year 4.4. The principal on that mortgage is around $12,000 lower than at closing. The property is worth roughly 18% more in a normal 3% annual appreciation environment, which is around $36,000 in equity gain. Stack it. About $57,000 in cumulative net cash flow, plus around $12,000 in principal paydown, plus around $36,000 in appreciation. That's roughly $105,000 of total return on a $50,625 deployment in 5 years. About 2 times your money back, while still owning the asset, and that's before you factor in depreciation. Always run depreciation through a CPA, because recapture rules at 25% apply on sale unless you defer through a Section 1031 exchange. Here's your action list. Pick one of the 4 metros. Pull average 4-bedroom prices off your favorite portal. Cross-check average per room rent against spare rooms' quarterly numbers. Run the same line-by-line cash flow we just ran. Call the city zoning department and confirm the unrelated occupancy rule in writing. Get 3 insurance quotes, including a landlord endorsement and a $1 million umbrella. Build your vendor list before closing. And screen your first 4 tenants like the property's profitability depends on it, because for the first 12 months, it does. The Four Lease Multiplier is not the easiest real estate strategy, but in this rate environment, it's quietly one of the highest yield single property strategies y'all can run with $100,000 to $150,000 capital. The numbers are repeatable. The operational load is real but manageable with systems. And the wealth stack at year 5 is the kind of math that actually moves your portfolio forward instead of treading water in a savings account at 4%. Pick the city, run the math. Call the zoning department. The next move is yours.